jail for contempt. And actually, technically, and in all material respects, Nigel is wrong. Because Tommy Robinson was... the charge of contempt was brought by the Attorney General, who is a Labour-appointed political figure. So it was a political individual that brought the charge for contempt against Tommy Robinson. And
No jury.
Tommy Robinson was in dispute.
Clear court.
A civil matter. It wasn't a criminal matter. And it is highly unusual for the Attorney General...
All the mortgage fraud was all establishment. Everything was...
And they're only allowed to do it if there's a matter of public interest at stake.
And that's why they put the terror charge on.
The Tommy Robinson's video that he released, which was apparently in contempt of court, at no level could anyone say that it was worthy of incarcerating him because it was contempt of court. And so at one level, yes, Tommy Robinson was in contempt of court and went to jail as a result of it. But fundamentally, it was a political figure that brought the charge against
100%, Ben.
and his incarceration was way over the...
Watch this fuckpot over here, look. Watch him, look. Watch his body language.
I'll explain it to Elon. Well, actually, Elon, I'm sure, would have read how it was that the contempt of court case was brought against Tommy Robinson, and how Tommy Robinson ended up in jail. And I can't agree more with Elon Musk. Tommy Robinson became the political victim of a narrative...
Speak of Peter Lynch, please.
...in this country, where you're not allowed to challenge any ethnic minority, given root through diversity, equity and inclusion, the regulatory and legislative framework which you and I have discussed many times on programs before. Now, you don't have to be a believer in Tommy Robinson. You don't have to be a denouncer of Tommy Robinson. But you've got to stick to the facts. And Nigel got the facts completely wrong when it came to...
100%.
And Tommy Robinson responded, Elon Musk responded to her
But he is effectively in prison for contempt of court.
Yeah, but brought by a political figure.
I mean that both two things can be true at the same time. One can be that he is in prison for contempt of court.
Category A for civil matter.
Why can those two things not be...
But the key point is that it was a politically motivated court case, and that's what Elon was saying.
No but.
One thing I'd like to say, Elon Musk is someone who is prepared to test the shifting of the Overton window, and it is vital, by the way, that we test the shifting.
Why are they not giving Ben a fucking...
Western civilization. The reason I'm in politics...
If it's on hang, when they're going to give it that clown, look.
Most pertinently in my case...
He's biting his fingers here, can't wait to get fucking add something.
Because of the way we've been governed for 27 years, and we need a 180-degree change in the way that we're governed. We will not achieve the change in the way that this country is governed unless we're prepared to test the Overton window. And Nigel, I'm afraid, has been extremely timid over the last few months.
You're right, you're 100%. This man's 100% right in everything he says.
You think, look, they've got 170,000 members. In fact, that ticker got to that number whilst he was there. And I think he's handled the Kenny Badenoch situation very well.
I hope the number drops now that he's done that with Tommy and Musk.
Be accurate, because one of the things I've been pushing for, and I think it put me at odds with Nigel considerably, was the democratisation of the party. And notwithstanding all the representations made by Nigel, Zaya and others in the leadership.
Sir Yusuf, that's all our boy.
There are only 3
He's not our clown.
And Nigel controls the party.
Yeah, but that will take time.
No, it won't take time. It's something you can do overnight.
Okay, but then they would need to take time on how that is done, and you wouldn't make a decision like that as in the
In the interest of the British public, yes, he should be.
All the liberals. That has literally never happened in our democratic history before. I'm seeing his praises here, maybe you're surprised, but I'm trying to relay the facts to the audience.
I'm surprised.
And by the way, I endorse all of that. I agree with all of that. Yeah. You've got reform.
But here we go.
20% plus. And I think the big explanation here...
Don't know who this guy is here.
...between Musk's opprobrium and Farage's approach is that Musk is familiar with an American primary presidential system, in which case you can play these games. In our system...
It's not a game when a man's in jail for 2 fucking years.
To get a majority in Westminster, it's very, very, very hard with the parliamentary system, and you do have to, a little bit, I don't really agree with the whole.
They need to get a few new donors. That's they need to get.
To at least consider that median voter in.
Why bring Tommy in on it?
In a way that isn't so much the case in the United States. It isn't a really tight election, which the last one wasn't, but it's a quite different system. And I think Musk really is familiar with the primary system, the presidential system. He's looking at Britain, he's saying, well, why can't we have a big figure like Trump? The reality is it doesn't work like that. We have a very different system. And I'll say this as a final point. This may be positive for reform because it keeps Nigel Farage in the spotlight for several more days.
Why you not just turn around and say Ben Habib should be our next Prime Minister?
Right? I'd say,
This country somewhere.
They're the Prime Minister sitting on the right.
Somewhere, who knows? Let us know.
There he is.
Somewhere you know where he is.
so he's getting all of this coverage, and I'd also say, and we'll see where this works out in the polling, he looks to a certain subsection of the electorate as a moderate.
You've watched that film, Anthony,
But
now.
I'm also against the establishment. That could be a very, very positive place to be.
Well, I understand it. Thank you very much, Mr. Habib. Right, you're with me. I'm Nana Request. This is GB News. We're live on TV, online.
Brilliant.